Good evening, everybody. I'd like to say a warm welcome to everyone here today. The idea is it's getting closer. I know many people are anxious. People are saying, when we start disbursing the money, when we collect money so that we can start this work. I think we're closer. We're closer. A lot of things are happening, have been happening behind the scenes. I've been able to get Mr. Pickestet to join us again today to help us as we prepare for the interviews towards getting called. I think some people should already have started getting calls today. It probably will increase from tomorrow. Next week is probably the week where it will happen for most people. And it's important that we are all able to answer the questions adequately. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we're here tonight is to run through a few questions that you'll be asked to ensure that everyone is prepared and informed about the business plan so that whatever questions is asked, you can answer intelligently. We'll always share the recorded version on the group. So if you are in the TM Agents group, don't worry. Even when we have done this, we'll share the link. Some of this uploading online and make it available on the internet, is a lot of data chopping and all that cost. But we continue to do all of that to ensure that everybody here can have a good chance. We have 133 people in the room already now. And normally in the TGM groups, we actually have a full group. So we have a full group of over 250 people. So about half of the people that are supposed to be here are not here. Also, there are some people who, have not uploaded their own forms. If you are in that category, it's important that you upload. We have substantive evidence that about 240 of us have uploaded our forms. We will find out those who haven't, so that we know those who are dropping off by virtue of the fact that they've not uploaded their business, their agreements. So I'd like to welcome everyone. You're welcome. I can see, quite a few people in the house today. I can see Abiola. I can see Adefunke Ihanacho. I can see Akure Kom. I can see Abraham Mukuragba. I can see, I'm looking out and I'm seeing a few of the stockist names. I can see the names that are not stockist names as well. I'm sure all of us will be stockists at some point. I can see Ari, Daramola Good. I can see you. I can see Ayogunto Ashe. I can see David Tafik. I can see quite a number of people in the house today. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is about preparing for the interviews. Interviews should start already. Disbursement we had was going to take 3 to 5 weeks from last week. So we're getting closer. I also heard that there's good news about BOI loading as well. We'll get all the fresh gist from Mr. Pickestet, who is already here with us. You're welcome, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, so everybody says they are ready. So do you want to share your screen? Do you want us to just basically take the questions one by one? What format do you want this to be, sir?
Yeah, so we shared the document for the question and answer.
Yeah.
We expect that the only thing we're doing is take clarifications from everybody so that we're better prepared. So we're just assuming that people have read it and they have questions that they want us to answer.
Oh, they've not read it though. I was waiting for us to do this meeting before I shared it. So what I will do is I will share it. I'll share it here, and then I'll send it to them after this meeting is done.
And so if you have the document, put it on the screen, share it, and then we can use it to discuss.
Okay, great.
So sorry about that. The thinking was that you had shared, and then people have questions that they wanted us to.
Okay. After this meeting, I'll share it. I didn't push it out. I felt, let's meet, so that we are not asking questions that will take us off the course. And then after this meeting is done, I'll share with them in the groups as well. Okay, so for everyone who is here listening and watching, we have a few sample questions that have been sent across to us, which we'll make available in the groups as soon as this particular class is over, together with the recordings that we are doing of this video that we are on at the moment as well. So if you are here in the class, you're going to get these questions in the group that we are together. But I wanted us to have this session so that we can look at it together and then, basically handle a few things. It's not very long. It's just about 3 pages in all. So it's something you can go through tonight and go through very well. But I think if you just run through them here, let everybody get at least a little bit familiar with this. So it's like you get your lecture before you get your handouts. That kind of possibility. So I don't know if you want me to read the questions or how do you want us to go about this?
Okay, just to give a background to everyone, the lesson learning has a process. Now, when you submit your application online, your details will be sent to your state. Your state coordinator will contact you and then now ask you a few questions. So essentially, that phase is just to make sure that people that have applied, they're not ghosts. Somebody didn't steal somebody else's information to go and apply for one loan somewhere. And they know exactly what they are being, the loan that they are applying for. So what we've done is to prepare the typical question and answer that are normally asked when the national people are going to call. They'll start calling any moment from now if they've not started already. So this is just to give us, make us better prepared, really. The other option we're exploring is the possibility of getting all of us to go to the local NFB in our state and then do the interview there. That may be faster for us because if we all agree that between Monday and Wednesday, everybody goes to the national in your state for your interview, we might be able to pass through this phase much faster than we would have done if we took the phone call option. Or we can do both. But when they call us, what we've done is to compile the typical questions that are normally asked from applicants, and really that's what this is all about. We can quickly go through it. It's about 15 questions, but there are, a lot of them are very basic. I don't know if it's possible to make the screen a little larger so that
we're not the session is happening with your audio is not very clear. They are struggling to hear you.
All right. Let me see if I can increase my volume. Okay, just a minute. Okay.
Well, I think I can hear you. I think maybe just a bit muffled. That's all. It's echoing.
Okay, my voice is echoing.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. What can I do about that? Just a moment.
Okay. Is it better now?
It's louder, but there's another thing that's making it a lot more noise underneath.
Okay.
Better now.
Much better now?
Much better now, yes.
There's background noise, that's what you mean?
Yes, there's a background noise.
Probably my generator or something.
Okay.
Let me see what I can do. I'm actually using my generator.
Okay.
And normally the speaker is very sensitive, so it picks practically everything that is around you. So if we're lucky, this might be better. But then let's try it again. Is it clearer now?
It's clear.
Okay. All right, and the background noise is reduced?
Yeah, it's reduced.
Okay, great. So let's see what we can make out of this. I'm running on generator. So it's a little loud. Okay, so is it better now?
It's better, yes.
Okay. So the purpose of this question and answer is really just for us to be better prepared. So we expect that this will be shared to all of us. And what we simply need to do is to just, so that we can have the first-hand information. So you will get a phone call, like I said, or sometimes you'll be invited to come to the NESAL office. And then they'll ask you, did you apply for a loan? How much did you apply for? Of course, it's 4,998,184. Let's just say 5 million, but that's the exact figure. And then they ask you, why did you apply? Of course, you want to acquire 2 sets of biometric equipment and working capital to participate in the compulsory national ID project for Nigerians. Um, and you plan to register a minimum of 160 people every day with those 2 sets of machine, an average 100 per day. And then, of course, they will now ask you your personal questions. What's your BVN? What's your name? What's your business name? What are your qualifications? So those information that you've provided, they will check it to confirm that it matches what you submitted, more or less. And then if you can take it up. Can you take it up?
Yeah.
Can you scroll it up? Yeah. And then they will ask you, what's the business about? Is to serve as an enrollment partner for NIMC for the national identity registration. Of course, we're going to do other things. One of them is the farmer registration, BVN registration, and agent banking, like the BOI that we just mentioned just now. And then they will ask you, have you done this business before? You will say no. You're a startup, but you're partnering with an experienced organization who have the necessary approvals to operate this project. Then how long do you want to take the loan? So it is 5 years for the repayment, 1 year moratorium. That is 6 years in total. So you can continue.
Yep.
Okay, so then, of course, you'll be asked, do you belong to any association? We have taken it upon ourselves to admit everybody as a member of the Society for Agent Banking, which is the recognized, authority in this business. And then, why do you need the loan? So, some explanation, you need 2 sets of equipment, you can't buy it by yourself. You need quality equipment so that you are sure that you'll keep running for the duration of the program. The 2 of them are insured. Even if one has a problem, you'll continue in business, which is the advantage that taking a loan will give you in itself. Then what are the equipment that you need? 1 set of biometric equipment, 1 fixed unit. Of course, those that want 2 mobile can take 1 fixed, 1 mobile. And then, of course, we have branded canopies and other equipment that will be used for the exercise. Out of this, how much is the cost of equipment? That's the exact figure. It's 3.5 million. And then, what do you need working capital for? You need to pay salaries until money starts coming in, rent to get a good place. And like we've said, we encourage you, arrange something on ground. Don't wait till you are called. You need petrol, you need data, all those utilities before you start. The total 1,499,000. Then what's the name of your EDI? Bettermark, and then in Lagos. Have you secured a location for your business? Please, we encourage you, get your location ready. All right. So continue.
When you say get your location ready, what do you mean?
Make the arrangements. You don't have to have the money. You are waiting for the money to pay. Okay. But it's not after they pay you that you start running around, where am I going to use? Okay. Now start looking out, start talking to people, that is evidence that you are ready for this business.
Okay.
And of course, they will now ask you the final question, how are you going to pay back? What we've said is, even though there are several sources of income, it is only one of those sources that will be used for repayment, which is the one that government will pay. And that is the 350. By the time you deduct the fees, what will come to you as of today is 230. However, that figure is likely to go up because exchange rate has gone up. But we want to work with the original figure. We don't want to give a figure that NIMC can come tomorrow and say, but we agree 350. Why are you helping us to do Naira and dollar exchange? And so this one is just like trying to explain that if I do 100 registrations a day, after I pay my fees, I'll still have about 400,000 left. And the monthly repayment is just about 100,000. It's not a mathematical question and answer. They're not going to carry calculator and be cross-checking what you're saying. But at least you need to be able to say something in a manner that shows that, okay, you are not clueless about the business that you're trying to get yourself into. These are sample answers. You don't have to answer it exactly like that. Of course, you'll also tell them that, look, I'm going to make money from other sources. I'm going to make from lamination, from reprinting, change of data, and things like that. Which is even additional income from it. But the repayment is by direct deduction of the amount that NIMC will pay for the project. All other income is extra and will go directly to you and will not be shared with anybody. That one is not under sharing. And of course, how are you sure that people will come? That's almost a given question. The moment is announced, there's no enrollment center. NIMC announced last week that enrollment centers are now opened. Somebody called me today and he said he went to a center and there were 300 people there in the morning. So the crowds have started forming again. So clearly, it is not the centers that are looking for people. It is people that will be looking for centers. So that's really what it is. So this is for all of us to have so that we are better prepared for the... They may not ask all these questions. They may just ask for your name, your BVN, and that's it. But just in case they now ask more questions, these are all the questions they're likely to ever ask. Usually they are 5 minutes phone calls. They are not like, an exam session. They're not very long sessions. Now, if we go for the option of going to their own centers, that it will even be simpler because you just go there and they'll probably talk to all of you as a group. Maybe you go there in groups of, 10s or 20s. They'll just, talk to all of you. They'll confirm that, this is your BVN, this is your name, and all of that. That's the only thing they're sending back to the headquarters that this person is not a ghost. That's just the bottom line. And they're the ones that are applied for the loan. And once it goes back to head office, disbursement starts.
Okay, great. So someone is saying here that I've been to my state center today and saw more than 300 youth in Gombe. So confirming what you're saying.
It's crazy.
Okay, these slides have already been sent to the group. So everybody who is in this meeting has access to these slides right now. So the slides are already been sent. So the PDF file, there's 3 pages, it's been sent to everyone. The group will be muted once this class is done, so that there's not much noise going on in there. But that form has been sent there. So are there any other questions for Q&A? We'll take a few and then we're done. It'll be the fastest meeting we ever had.
Just to let everybody know, the Bank of Industry process will also start. It has actually started. We've been meeting with Bank of Industry at the back end. They've sent us a schedule. The reason why it took longer is because it's expanded. Government has 1.2 trillion to spend, and they're going to spend it, and they're going to pass the money through agents. So it's a lot of work for it. It's a big opportunity for all of us. So we'll be sharing that update as well in the next 1 week of how we're all going to register for the BOI program.
Okay, if you register for the BOI program and you're in the house, you did the registration when we asked people to go and register for the BOI. Just type yes so that we can see your names and we can just see the yes and know that we are talking to the same group. Okay, good. Okay, great. Somebody said Betamac is not their EDI. That hope they don't have a problem. I think some people are doing that. Somebody did an EDI before this one. So he's saying, I think you just use Betamac, yeah? So that everything is uniform.
Everybody that applied through us, we submitted a Betamac training number for them.
Okay.
So we're not aware that some people had, done for training before, and they got another.
So if you did with us, you are Betamac. It's Betamac that is your EDI. If you didn't see your confirmation, if you are using Yahoo, don't worry. If you saw your registration confirmed, you're fine. Those that didn't register for BOI, what's the advice for us? Catch us in the group.
Oh well, those that didn't register for BOI, what we've done for BOI is pre-qualification. You know, this exercise started 4 years ago. So there were some people that we used at that time. So what they are now saying is, first of all, those people that have been in part of the program before, registered them. But the only thing we now did was to take advantage of that and now bring you guys on board. After we start the program properly, we will be able to add new people, but not before.
Okay, great. So, a few questions that we can answer very quickly. You said they will invite us to their office. Where's the location of their office?
It's an option we're considering. It's usually the state office of NESA. It's usually the biggest post office in your state, usually.
Okay. So if they invite them, fine. If they don't invite them, it will be phone call.
You know, if we choose that option of you going to the NESA office, we'll communicate it. We're discussing with them.
Okay.
What we've done is we are not allowing this process to take its natural course, because if we do, we will still be on it till January next year. So we're pushing, you know, to bypass the process. In actual fact, the people that applied in April are the ones that have been attended to now. We applied in July and we're already being attended to. So we've jumped the gun by about 3 or 4 months already. So we now want to speed up the interview process as well. So we let everybody know as well.
Yeah, in case you're not clear. So what we're talking about is two different things. What I've just finished talking about now is about the national identity number with NIN. This is different. BOI is Bank of Industry, and basically they have loans they want to give to farmers, loans they want to give to market women, and they are looking for agents that will disburse those loans on their behalf to them. We asked people on our platform to register to pre-qualify for this about 2 months ago, about 6 weeks ago. So already it's being visited now. So you may begin to start getting notifications from there as well, is why we're just announcing this. EDI is different. EDI is a training that everybody that is applying through here went through online to ensure that they do some kind of entrepreneurship training. There is a requirement for applying for this loan. Now, if you are in this group, we did that group online. If you didn't attend those trainings, there is access for you to listen to them and attend them. But everybody here averagely has gone through those trainings, and a certificate has been issued for everyone that has been uploaded with their application. So if you are here and you already have a TGM number, it's because you have passed through and done your EDI. Someone is asking that with this digitalization, will they still need to print ID cards? Will there still be need for printing ID cards with this digitalization?
Of course. The digitalization is, let's give you a good example. Most of us get SMS when we use a POS, but we still tell them to print out our receipt because the receipt is the evidence. So when you go to a NIN center, you still tell them to print your card. But of course, you now have a digital version which you can put on your phone, you know, but it's not going to stop you from, I mean, I'll be very shocked if somebody says, no, don't print my card for me. I have it on phone. So you will keep the paper, you go and hide it under one pillow somewhere, and then you'll not be using the one on the phone, you know, for your day-to-day activities. That's what is going to happen.
Please don't go to any Ikeja post office. Don't go anywhere. Wherever you need to go, whatever you need to do, we'll send you information ahead. We'll let you know. Someone says, I noticed that the figures here are different from the ones on the agreement. What can we do?
I'm trying to understand that question.
It's not different. Is it different?
Or the new agreement?
Yes, the new agreement has these current numbers.
So I suspect it's mixing the old agreement with the new agreement.
So I think you're mixing the old agreement with the new agreement. There are two agreements. There was one old one, which was decision. There's a newer one.
That was 5 million.
That has 5 million, yes. Now, if people have mistakenly uploaded the old one, you know, I don't know.
Changing yourself. You should change yourself. But you can clarify, Olu just mention the specific figures that you notice so that we can answer your question properly.
Okay.
Mm.
I don't think anybody needs the address of FSN in Abuja now. I think it's a post office when it is required. You'll be asked to go there. I don't know. Someone says, what's the address of FSN in Abuja, sir? Is that necessary?
Our office is in Guaripa. So it's I don't know what anybody wants to come to our office to do, but yes, our office is in Guaripa. Of course, we also have a center in the Wuse Zone 3 post office. The Nesal office, state coordination office for Abuja is in area 10. So, I mean, it depends on you. But for the interview, you are going to go to Nesal, which is the post office in area 10. But we will communicate the exact post office per state to every one of us. And the day we were required to go there.
If we go to their office, how would they confirm our location? And where is the location of their office? I think it's been answered.
Question.
It says, please, Oga should know that some people are outside Kaduna. This is in regard to interview. I don't understand that question as well. How do we know the state or local government?
Yeah, no, I understand it.
Okay, please. Okay,
yeah. So I understand the question. Usually the state office is in the state capital.
Hmm.
So if you are applying from outside the state capital, it means that you have to do some traveling. So you're not the first person to bring that up. And clearly what we need to do is we're going to do a combination of physical visits and phone call. So if you're able to go physically, we will let you know. And then if you're not able to go and you need a phone call, it will be done. But the idea of the physical visitation is that it's faster than phone calls, because you can agree between so and so date, everybody go, and you are sure that they will attend to you. But those that cannot make it, don't worry, it doesn't mean that you're automatically cut off.
Okay. Someone's asking, what's the estimated timeline for the interviews to commence and for the disbursements to be concluded? I think that's 5 weeks.
That's what everybody is looking for. Yeah, so interviews should have started by now, actually. So phone calls can happen any moment from now. So please share that document as quickly as possible. We're not in control. We're just negotiating with them to make it faster. That's all. But they will call. Our names have already been sent to the states. I can confirm that to us. We are just now trying to negotiate with each state to say, okay, should we just do interview? Let them come, or what do we? But we're anticipating that in another 3 weeks or thereabout, disbursement should happen. But we're not in control. We're still in Nigeria, and all we're doing is what we're doing, pushing and pushing, pushing and pushing to make it faster. And we've achieved quite a lot already. Those that have applied for NESA, for the AGNIS loan will tell you the disbursement that are happening today are people that applied February, March this year. So it's actually unusual that we're already, at the level of interview for our people.
Okay, so we're actually fast.
We bypassed a lot of process already.
Okay, good. Someone is asking, I think Sweden is too far away. How do we know the local government area our center covers? I think we'll take that one later. How can we confirm that people calling are from NESAL?
They will, well, that's a good question. They will introduce themselves when they call, but what we can also do is to request them to give us the phone numbers that they're going to use to call per state. Hopefully they will give us. If they give us, we'll let everybody know. If not, we will at least agree with them on the format at which they will make the calls when they call people, so that people can be properly, they can properly identify who is calling them.
Okay. Are we now part of the center taking into consideration the number of centers in the state? So the person is asking, have they been approved?
So the loan is different from the NIPSI approval. Okay. Your loan is to get money. Assuming you had your money, you don't need to go through this process. Now, when you now get money, you will now, go to NIMSI and say, okay, I have equipment, I have location, which you would have used the money to acquire. That's when the NIMSI process will now start. The NIMSI process is fairly straightforward. They rely on us to more or less, make sure that everything is in place, the equipment, the location and everything. We don't expect that we will send the details of anybody to them and then they will start questioning, those details that, which kind of location is this equipment is not enough, and that's our own job. But there are two different processes.
Someone is asking, how and when do we confirm our application on the NESA portal?
So that's what we just said. The we submitted for everybody as of today, right?
Yeah.
And then by the time the interview comes, what they normally do is that you will get an SMS on your phone that now tells you the status of your application. That's really how you are going to know where you are.
Okay.
You will get the final approval. You will get an SMS that says your loan has been approved, and then you'll now be required to go online to the NESA website and provide your details. That's the moment where those of you that you want to change your company name, you want to change your bank account and things like that, you will have that opportunity at that last stage of disbursement.
Okay. So please, where will the money be paid into? I submitted my personal account.
The account
and not company accounts.
You're advised to do this business with your company account, but if you don't have one, if you have a personal account, it will be disbursed into your personal account.
What if one's business name is not registered? Will that hinder anything?
It will not. It will not. It simply means that the money will be disbursed into your personal account, but we don't advise it.
Okay, so can we go to their office individually? Just wait until
individually, please. Don't jump the gun. A number of people, they get a little overexcited and they do what they're not supposed to do, and in the process they disqualify themselves. There's nothing we can do about that. We're as eager as everyone here to get this stage out of the place. So you cannot be more eager than us. But don't jump the gun. If you go and show up, they start asking you questions that you cannot answer, you've disqualified yourself. And there's nothing anybody can do about that.
Okay. Will they ask us for the original of our EDI certificate? We have not been given certificates.
You will not. But everybody will still get their certificate.
Okay. So I think you need to also understand that there's a lot of work that is being done on this. So if you have gone through the EDI training and you went through us and we saw your name and you have gone this far, know that the reason why you have gone this far is because you already have an EDI certificate. Your number has been entered. You could not have applied without the EDI certificate. So for you to have applied, for you to upload your agreement, all of that is already done. It's only for you to get a document evidence for that, and you will get that once the more important things have been sorted out. What are we going to present? Please, sir, what are we going to present to them at NESA?
You don't need to present anything. It's an interview session. We're just giving you information ahead of time. When the arrangement is completed, we will communicate to everybody.
Odolata says the one I have has 4 million. You have the wrong one.
Get the updated one and sign it here.
Get the other one, sign it. But can they still upload?
Yes, they can still upload. We've not closed it.
Now, okay.
If they uploaded the wrong one, they should let us know. We'll delete what they uploaded so that they can re-upload.
Let me be sure that, let me be sure that somebody is saying he hasn't gotten the new one. How come they've not gotten the new one when that was shared in the group just a few days ago. Let me just be sure that.
Not everybody that checked their WhatsApp messages line by line. Some people just scan through and they miss details in the process.
Yeah, it says 4.998185. It's in the group, Mr. Olatoye. So please check the group. Maybe you don't have the right agreement. It's there. It's the last agreement that was shared. Okay, so people are asking questions about, and I think these are questions are the same questions. Don't go to any office. Wait for a phone call. Whatever needs to change, you'll be informed.
We'll let you know.
People are saying they prefer phone call because they are outside the city.
We will, so we will make that option available.
Anyone who says they're interested in BOI agency, just stay in touch. Once we start out with this one, once that opportunity presents itself again, we'll let you know. For those who have entered in earlier, we'll take it line by line. He has already, I think he already explained that there will be another batch at some point. So just wait for that.
After it starts the disbursement, they will allow us to add more agents.
Okay, so somebody says payment NIN in the previous slide of potential income shows 280 and deductions, but today's slide shows a reduction to 230.
Yes, so the original documents did not include the aggregator deduction. It was based on just the 70/30. So it is this 35 that is now making it 230. Having said that, what we are doing is to take worst case scenario. It is not likely to be 350, but we are working with 350. That's one. And I keep repeating that the only one that we're talking about sharing income with is that single line of income. There are like about 20 lines of income, and it is only one that we're talking about. So it's important that people keep that in mind. But the 280, 230 comes from the additional 5% from aggregator in that document.
But that's more than 5%. I think it was under rate that was used as well. Because between 280 and 230 is 50 naira. 50 naira over 350 is 1/7. I think it must be that the under exchange rate was used as well.
It's possible, but not likely. But I know that it's 350 that we used for this one that we shared. It's a worst case scenario. It's not, like I said, it's not like they're going to bring calculator. Yeah. It's just to give us an idea of, the document is a guide. Yeah, so how we can answer the questions. We can use our own figures actually.
Okay. Now, somebody's asking whether they can confirm the genuinity of the callers. I think Neoshal is not going to be calling you to ask you for money. They're going to be calling you to interview you. So once the person is, if it's an interview, you're fine. Once they start asking you for money, you have been scammed.
It's a valid question. We will also engage the SAR, and we will let everybody know how best to handle that. I think it's a good question.
If you want to change location, somebody's asking, can they change location? Wait until the loan is disbursed. After the loan is disbursed for the business, when we are doing NIMC leg, we can change location.
Yes.
Sir, for we that our business name has not been approved now, but there's a bit of change compared to one submitted. Are we covered?
Yeah, it's the same thing. When you are being approved, you are going to be approved as your BVN is the one that is going to be used. You will get as SMS to see your loan has been approved. Enter the name and account details that you want the money to be disbursed to. So it is at that point that you can now say, okay, my former name is A Limited. Now I want to be AA Limited. And then you now put the new account number. It will be allowed. But that is after approval, not before or during.
Okay.
So when you get an SMS that says your loan has been approved, please log here to enter your details. Then you can change whatever you need to change at that time. As long as that new account is linked to your BVN, that's the provision.
Okay. the loan repayment is 4 years or is it 5 years? Can we repay earlier? Yes. If you want to pay in 1 year, you can pay in 1 year. If you want to pay in 6 months, you can. Yes.
Yes.
Actually, by the projections of how much you are able, by the projections of how much you're supposed to be able to make per month, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to pay in 1 or 2 years. So I say, since we are here to see our business plan, hope questions won't be asked from it.
That's why we've picked the questions that need to be asked. And that's the purpose of that document.
That
It
document
contains everything they will ask that is on the business plan. The business plan is a 50-something page document.
it will
A lot of people will be confused. You know.
So with the question, this question you have is the question. Those are the questions. We already have the questions. So just study it, understand what you need to know. We already have a general idea of the business. The business plan is a 50-page document. It will create assignments for some other people, make you sound confused when they are even asking you questions. You already have the AOC, areas of concentration.
Exactly.
Will the account be with NISA Microfinance Bank or our other bank accounts existing?
As of today, it is usually your account that the money is disbursed to. There was a recent conversation by NESA that people should come and open accounts with them, but I'm not sure it has caught on yet, and I doubt if they're going to start that soon, but they're in charge. If they will call us tomorrow and say that people have to open an account, so be it, we will let you know. But as of today, they will disburse to the account you provide.
Okay. So someone is saying, can we join the BOI? Let me answer that one. Can you join the BOI? Be in the group. Let's see. This one is happening now. Once this one is closed, no problem. We open BOI. But I'll put a question there for all people asking for BOI that are not stockists. Does it mean 100% of the money is to be paid into our account before we make transfer? Of course not. You get the money for the capital, working capital.
No.
You get money for equipment. Yes? Am I correct, sir? Hello? Hello, sir. It's as if here.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, good. I have a good location for my office. Everything is intact, but it is upstairs. Is there any problem with that? Yes, there's problem. Oh.
We have to come and look at it to see whether it will pass.
Okay.
Our team will come and do an inspection, or you can send a video when the time comes. But generally, ground floors are preferred. Occasionally, first floor can may pass depending on the way that first floor is set up.
Okay. So, does it mean the revenue for the project will be controlled by the exchange rates? What is the effect of the upward or downward review of dollars on this project?
When we started the project, it was specifically at 350 naira. We are anticipating that now that exchange rate has gone higher, they will increase that estimation. But as at when we had a physical meeting with NIMC, it was specifically 350 naira. It's just that we were aware that it was $1 to the naira that was being used. It was $1 per registration that was being used. But I don't think it will ever go below the 350.
Okay. At what point was our bank account numbers requested? I'm not aware I've already any bank account number. If you fill the application form, there's bank account number. If you didn't fill the application form, you will not notice that there's bank account number. There's BVN, there's bank account number, there's private account, there's company account. All of us was required in the form that was filled. If you are asked about your current job or work engagement, what do you say? Hello, sir.
No, good question. You are going into a new business, so they don't. They're not expecting that you should be working somewhere, or that's not an issue. They've asked you, is this a new venture, and you've answered yes, and you're partnering with an experienced company. That's all. They're not interested in where you're coming from.
Okay. Sir, when we charge for reprinting, charge of that change of data, how do we pay the government? Will they create a remitter account for us as agents? And with the formal materials you sent us, how are
Yes, I've said it. Yeah. So a remitter account will be everybody is going to be set up for on a remitter account. Now, for the one that you charge 500 naira for, what will be deducted from that your remitter account is like 350. So you have a profit of 150, but you'll be able to issue a government receipt that shows 500 on it, and then you keep your profit. And it is also inside that remitter account that your monthly payment is going to be paid into. Remember that is your bank account that is linked to that remitter account.
okay, great.
Yes, it is insured, yes.
Yeah, someone's asking is insured. Can we use a mobile container as an office space for location?
Yes. However, remember that there is requirement for public toilets and a waiting area. So if you have a container that is sizable, and then you have a waiting area, which will be the canopy, and then you have a public toilet in that same vicinity, yes, you will pass. But you must meet those requirements: waiting area, public toilets, and service area. They didn't say it has to be in block, really.
Okay, great. Somebody is asking, will the money be paid directly into our private account? Yes.
The working capital, yes, 1.5 million.
Yeah. If I'm able to do 200 registrations per day, and the average is around 100 cumulatively, will the 100 on top of it be paid directly into one's account, or will it be pushed forward for deduction from the loan?
If you collect every penny of what you've done,
Yeah.
it's up to you.
Is the canopy good for the waiting area? Yes. If you're going to change our account number after the disbursement, can we change the BVN number too? Because a company account with different.
No, you cannot.
You can't.
No, you can change account number as long as it's linked to that same BVN that was used to apply. You cannot change your BVN.
Okay. Okay, great.
So if you use somebody else's BVN to apply, just congratulate the person that he has just got an application on your behalf.
Okay, good. Do we receive money daily or monthly?
Payment is monthly. Everything you've done for the month is calculated and you are paid. The ones that you receive daily are the ones that like change of date and things like that, where as people come, you collect the money from them and you print the receipt for them.
Okay, great. So I think,
all right.
Yeah, I think that's basically it, ladies and gentlemen. No more questions. All the questions
are we covered now?
I think we're covered. The focus of this meeting was really the interview questions. We've gone way beyond that. You have the documents with you now in the groups. This video will be uploaded and sent to you as well. Let's make the most of it. All the best. I think people that are interested in other things, let's focus on this one and get it. Other things will come. A lot more things than you can even imagine. So let's focus on this one and ensure that it is a phone conversation or somewhere you need to go. The good thing, we are all in a group and we can all be informed as at when needed. So let's not panic. Let's make the most of this. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Shola Bikestet. Thank you very much for obliging us to meet with us. I don't know how many of the other aggregators are getting you to meet with them like this. So I dare say we are your favorites.
pleasure.
So thank you very much. So I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Special group.
Yeah, thank you.
Special group. But you don't, I mean,
Yeah, and we've been
all
getting,
right.
they've been, Mr. Shola has been very, very helpful, has been very supportive of us. He has accepted some of our, our inconsistent consistencies.
All right then.
He managed to appreciate, to help us out when we get stuck. So thank you very much, sir. We appreciate. Okay, everyone. I think that's it.